When we think of ancient civilizations, the names Egypt, Rome, and Greece often come to mind. But what if I told you that entire empires once thrived in Africa? Empires with monumental cities, powerful kings, and advanced knowledge that the world almost forgot. From the pyramids of Nubia to the golden cities of Mali, from the iron-smelting Nok people to the bustling Swahili trade ports, Africa was home to civilizations that rivaled anything in Europe, Asia, or the Middle East. Today, we uncover 8 forgotten African civilizations that history tried to erase and reveal the incredible stories of power, wealth, culture, and knowledge that they left behind. 1. Ancient Nubia and the Kingdom of Kush. South of ancient Egypt, along the life-giving waters of the Nile River, flourished a civilization that rivaled its northern neighbor in wealth, culture, and power. This was Nubia, a land rich in resources and history, later known as the Kingdom of Kush. For centuries, Nubia maintained a complex society with advanced architecture, organized trade networks, and skilled craftsmanship. While Egypt dominates history books and popular imagination, Nubia was far more than a peripheral neighbor. It was a rival, an equal, and at times, even a ruler of Egypt itself. Nubia's wealth came from its abundant gold mines, lush agricultural lands, and valuable trade goods like ivory, ebony, incense, and exotic animals. Its strategic location along the Nile made it a critical link between Central Africa and the Mediterranean world, enabling Nubian merchants to exchange goods across vast distances. This wealth and influence allowed Nubia to develop a distinct culture, blending indigenous African traditions with elements borrowed from Egypt, yet remaining uniquely its own. Around 750 BCE, the Kingdom of Kush reached a remarkable pinnacle when the Kushite kings conquered Egypt, establishing the 25th dynasty, often referred to as the Black Pharaohs. This dynasty ruled from Thebes, restoring temples, revitalizing religious practices, and asserting themselves as the legitimate protectors of Egyptian culture. Unlike many conquerors, the Kushite pharaohs revered Egypt's traditions and sought to preserve them, rather than impose foreign customs. This period marked a rare time in history when a southern African kingdom not only challenged Egypt's dominance, but also successfully ruled it. One of the most iconic legacies of Kush is the pyramids of Meroe. Unlike the massive pyramids of Egypt, the Nubian pyramids were smaller, steeper, and far more numerous, numbering over 200 structures. These pyramids served as royal tombs, adorned with intricate reliefs and inscriptions that combined African and Egyptian artistic styles. They are a testament not only to the architectural ingenuity of the Kushites, but also to their reverence for the dead and belief in the afterlife. Beyond monumental architecture, Kush was also an ironworking powerhouse, producing tools, weapons, and agricultural equipment that fueled both its economy and military. Iron smelting gave the Kushites a technological advantage over neighboring regions, allowing them to defend their lands and expand their influence. Despite its remarkable achievements, Nubia has often been overshadowed by Egypt in historical narratives. European historians frequently misrepresented Nubia as a minor or culturally inferior society, neglecting its sophisticated governance, trade networks, and technological prowess. In reality, Kush not only preserved Egyptian traditions during periods of decline, but also ruled Egypt at the height of its power, demonstrating political acumen, economic strength, and cultural sophistication. Today, the ruins of Meroe, along with other archaeological sites in modern Sudan, stand as enduring reminders of a civilization that once shaped the course of African and world history. Nubia's story is a powerful reminder that Africa's past was filled with empires, innovation, and rulers whose legacies deserve recognition, respect, and remembrance. 2. Great Zimbabwe. Deep in the heart of southern Africa, nestled between rolling hills and savanna, stands Great Zimbabwe, one of the most mysterious and remarkable ancient sites on the continent. Unlike the monumental pyramids of Egypt or the sprawling cities of Mesopotamia, Great Zimbabwe was built entirely without mortar, relying on millions of carefully shaped granite blocks that fit together with astonishing precision. The city's most iconic feature, the Great Enclosure, is a colossal circular structure with walls reaching 11 meters high and stretching over 250 meters long. Its towering stone walls remain a testament to the engineering skill, patience, and artistic vision of the Shona people who constructed this magnificent city between the 11th and 15th centuries CE. Great Zimbabwe was far more than a city of stone. It was a thriving hub of commerce, politics, and culture. Archaeologists have uncovered Chinese porcelain, Arab coins, and Persian glass within its ruins, evidence that this city was part of a vast global trade network linking southern Africa to Asia, the Middle East, and the Indian Ocean world. Its strategic location allowed the Shona people to control trade routes that brought gold, ivory, and other precious goods from the African interior to the coast. This wealth not only fueled the city's growth, but also established it as a center of political and social influence in the region. The social structure of Great Zimbabwe was highly organized. The city's inhabitants developed complex hierarchies, sophisticated religious practices, and long-distance trade systems. Temples, royal compounds, and ritual sites suggest that the city was both a political capital and a spiritual center, reflecting the deep cultural sophistication of its people. When European explorers first arrived in southern Africa centuries later, they were astonished by the ruins. Many refused to believe that Africans could have built such an advanced city, attributing it instead to Phoenicians, Arabs, or biblical civilizations. This Eurocentric view ignored centuries of African innovation and expertise. Modern archaeology, however, has firmly established that Great Zimbabwe was a creation of indigenous African genius and a pinnacle of African civilization. Today, the ruins of Great Zimbabwe stand not only as a monument to architectural mastery, but also as a powerful symbol of Africa's pre-colonial history, cultural identity, and technological achievement. It reminds the world that long before European intervention, Africa was home to thriving civilizations capable of extraordinary feats in engineering, trade, and governance. 3. Kingdom of Aksum. In the Horn of Africa, a remarkable civilization rose that would leave a lasting mark on both Africa and the wider world, the Kingdom of Aksum. Located in what is today Ethiopia and Eritrea, Aksum emerged as a powerful state that connected the African interior with the Mediterranean, Arabian, and Indian worlds. Its strategic position along the Red Sea allowed it to control key ports, turning Aksum into a bustling hub of international trade. Merchants from Rome, Persia, India, and Arabia came to Aksum to exchange gold, ivory, spices, and exotic silk, making it one of the wealthiest and most influential empires of its time. The kingdom's architectural achievements were equally impressive. Aksum is world-renowned for its towering stele, monumental stone pillars carved from single blocks of granite, some reaching over 30 meters tall. These stele served as royal markers and burial monuments, showcasing the engineering skills and artistic sophistication of Aksumite craftsmen. The precision and scale of these structures demonstrate a society capable of organizing labor, resources, and technology at a level comparable to the great civilizations of the ancient world. In the 4th century CE, Aksum became one of the first Christian states, alongside Rome and Armenia, when King Ezana converted to Christianity. This moment established a religious tradition that has persisted in Ethiopia for more than 15 centuries, influencing its culture, art, and political identity. Christianity in Aksum was not only a spiritual force, but also a unifying factor, helping consolidate the kingdom's power and identity. Despite its remarkable achievements, Aksum is rarely highlighted in mainstream history. Persian historians recognized it as one of the great powers of its time, yet much of its legacy has been overshadowed by other ancient civilizations. Modern archaeology, however, confirms that Aksum played a crucial role in early global trade, connecting Africa to distant continents and fostering a rich culture of art, religion, and governance. Its monuments, coins, and manuscripts remain enduring reminders of a civilization that was as advanced, wealthy, and influential as any in the ancient world. 4. Carthage on the North African coast. In what is now modern Tunisia, stood Carthage, a city that would grow to become one of Rome's greatest rivals. Founded by Phoenician settlers from the city of Tyre around 814 BCE, Carthage quickly transformed from a small settlement into a powerful maritime empire. Its strategic location on the coast allowed it to control Mediterranean trade routes, connecting North Africa to Europe, the Middle East, and beyond. Through advanced shipbuilding, skilled navigation, and a formidable navy, Carthage dominated the seas for centuries, earning a reputation as one of the most influential maritime powers of the ancient world. The city itself was a marvel of engineering and planning. Its harbors could accommodate hundreds of ships, including warships and merchant vessels, making Carthage a central hub for commerce and military operations. The Carthaginians also excelled in agriculture and irrigation, creating fertile farmland in areas that were once arid. They developed innovative farming techniques, including complex canal systems and water management methods, which allowed them to feed a growing population and sustain a thriving economy. Among Carthage's most famous figures was Hannibal Barca, a military genius whose name has echoed through history. Hannibal is best known for his daring campaign during the Second Punic War, where he famously crossed the Alps with elephants to launch a surprise attack on Rome. His strategic brilliance brought Rome to the brink of defeat and demonstrated the extraordinary military capabilities of Carthage. Yet the legacy of Carthage endures in both archaeology and history. Its advanced urban planning, maritime expertise, and agricultural innovations influenced the Mediterranean for centuries, while Hannibal's military genius continues to inspire scholars and strategists alike. Carthage was not merely a city. It was a civilization that combined commerce, technology, and military prowess, standing as one of Africa's greatest achievements long before European colonization. 5. Mali Empire. In the heart of West Africa, along the fertile lands surrounding the Niger River, rose the Mali Empire, one of the wealthiest and most influential empires in human history. Founded in the early 13th century, Mali grew from a regional power into a vast empire controlling trade routes, fertile farmland, and immense natural resources, particularly gold, which would become the backbone of its wealth and influence. The empire's control over gold mines made it the primary supplier of gold to both Europe and the Islamic world, connecting West Africa to global trade networks long before the age of exploration. The Mali Empire is perhaps best known for its legendary ruler, Mansa Musa, who reigned in the early 14th century. Considered by many historians as the richest individual in recorded history, Mansa Musa's wealth was unparalleled. His famous pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 became the stuff of legend. He traveled with thousands of attendants and distributed so much gold along his route that he caused inflation in multiple regions, forever cementing Mali's reputation as a land of extraordinary wealth. Yet Mansa Musa was more than a symbol of riches. He was also a visionary leader who promoted Islamic scholarship, architecture, and education throughout his empire. Mali was not merely an economic powerhouse. It was a center of learning and culture. Cities such as Timbuktu and Jen became renowned hubs of astronomy, mathematics, law, medicine, and theology, attracting scholars and students from across Africa, the Middle East, and beyond. Timbuktu alone housed hundreds of thousands of manuscripts, preserving knowledge that rivaled European universities centuries before the invention of the printing press. These cities also became centers for Islamic architecture, with grand mosques and libraries symbolizing the empire's wealth, faith, and intellectual vitality. 6. Nok civilization. Long before the rise of great African empires like Mali or Songhai, the Nok civilization flourished in what is now Nigeria between roughly 1000 BCE and 300 CE. The Nok people were among the earliest known iron smelters in sub-Saharan Africa, producing tools, weapons, and agricultural implements that transformed daily life and allowed their society to grow and prosper. This technological innovation places them among the earliest advanced civilizations on the continent, demonstrating that West Africa had a rich history of scientific and metallurgical expertise long before the arrival of later kingdoms. In addition to their mastery of iron, the Nok people are renowned for their terracotta sculptures, some of the oldest and most sophisticated in Africa. These sculptures, often depicting human figures with detailed facial features, elaborate hairstyles, and expressive postures, reveal a remarkable artistic skill and cultural sophistication. The statues likely had religious, ceremonial, or symbolic purposes, reflecting the beliefs and values of this early society. The Nok civilization challenges outdated narratives that suggest complex societies in West Africa only emerged in the medieval period. Archaeological evidence proves that over 2,000 years ago, advanced communities existed with technology, art, and social organization capable of shaping their environment and leaving a lasting legacy. Today, the Nok are remembered not just for their ironworking or art, but as pioneers of African civilization, demonstrating that West Africa was a cradle of innovation, culture, and creativity long before European contact or later empires rose to prominence. Their achievements remind us that Africa's history is ancient, rich, and full of ingenuity that demands recognition. These civilizations were far from isolated or primitive. They were powerful empires that built monumental cities, advanced knowledge, and global trade networks, leaving a legacy that shaped history. Their stories were hidden not because they lacked greatness, but because history was often written by those who came later. By remembering them, we are not rewriting history, we are restoring it. Africa's past is rich, complex, and full of innovation waiting to be celebrated. If you found this journey inspiring, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to explore more forgotten stories of the world's greatest civilizations.